Hello and welcome to another episode of Ankle Sore and Carlton Club Corner, episode 15. I don't know where to start. I really don't know where to start. Okay. So, after the round 20 loss to Port Adelaide, Michael Voss insisted he wasn't concerned by his midfielders' struggles, but made it clear they had their work cut out to turn things around at the coalface. It's not a concern. It's a challenge, though, Voss said. I'll back the men that are in there, though. They're competitive and they're always looking to get better. And the one thing I know is that they don't like losing. They don't like losing contests, let alone 4 points. And yet here we are after a loss to Collingwood at round 21. Is it time to panic, Michael? Are you worried now? Are you concerned? I would be. 6 weeks ago I saw this coming. 6 weeks ago I said, stop tinkering with the side. It doesn't need tinkering. And we lost some stupid games we shouldn't have lost. And now look at us. Now look where we are right now after round 21. In this video, I'm going to repeat myself a whole bunch because it's just nothing changes. So it's the same old with Carlton. How can you ruin what we had 6 weeks ago, Vossi? I'm absolutely staggered. 6 weeks ago, Jordan Boyd was in the side. 6 weeks ago, we played with one ruckman. 6 weeks ago, George Hill was playing his best footy, and you dropped him. This is the same thing I've been regurgitating. 6 weeks ago, I said, Ollie Hollands, go away, put on some weight, and don't come back until you do. That means don't play for the rest of the season. Yet he continues to play week after week after week with no influence whatsoever. Some might say, who else have we got instead of Ollie Hollands? We've got no depth. Well, go and watch last week's episode. I'll link it here above so you can see what I have to say. But if you're not going to go back and watch that one, I've done the research for you. David Cunningham, who out of a possible 172 games, has played 58 games for Carlton. Caleb Marchbank, who out of a possible 132 games with Carlton, has played 56. Zach Williams, out of a possible 66 games with Carlton, has played 39. And Jack Martin, out of 110 possible games played with Carlton, he's played 52. Get out. Get out of the club. It's time to make some hard decisions, Carlton. I'm telling you. We're getting our right whack now because you haven't made the hard decisions and got rid of these hacks. 4 players, $2 million in the salary cap equals no depth. Get rid of them, and there's more to come, but get rid of those 4 immediately. Should never, ever play another game for the Carlton Football Club starting this week. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this rubbish. I'm sick of the... I was about to swear then, but I'm not going to. I'm sick of the comfort blankets. I'm sick of the cotton wool down at Carlton. Wake up and do the hard work. That's not just the players, that's the coaches, that's the recruiting, that's the board, that's the president, that's all of you. Do the hard work. Make the hard calls. Enough. 29 years without a premiership. 29. 6 weeks ago, we were sitting second on the ladder. Second. And I started my rant about, hey, we're in a bit of trouble here. And people said, we're still sitting second, aren't we? Now where are we sitting? Are we second now? I don't think so. We're 7th on the ladder by percentage. Hanging on to finals by a thread. Hanging on to a final 8 spot by a thread. after 6 weeks ago being clear of third spot by 2 games. Now we're hanging on by a thread. I can't even believe I'm saying it. Now that I'm saying it out loud, it almost sounds ridiculous. A coach from a rival team said, and I quote, "You might be fit to play, but are you fit to play at AFL standard?" That was Craig McRae from Collingwood. A premiership coach, by the way, which Vossi, you are not. And the reason I say that is because Matt Cottrell was out for 8 weeks and he's come back and he's had 6 touches, 5 touches, 6 touches, 8 touches. He's clearly not fit for AFL football. Why didn't you play him in the reserves for a couple of weeks? I'm just curious. I don't understand how special this person is, or is he that important that we can't afford to play him a couple of games in the reserves? I'm staggered. I'm also staggered at Michael Voss's plan B. Do we have one? A good coach always has a plan B. I can't see it. I don't think we have a plan B. If we have, we haven't used it yet. We need to be using it. We need to be using it, Vossi. Sitting 7th on the ladder now, we need to be using our plan B. So you better find one, because I don't think we've got one at the moment. And yet again, Adam Cerra's done his hamstring. Again. That's the 3rd or 4th time this year. So again, instead of playing these players a game or 2 in the reserves to get some fitness, we go and throw them back in, because regardless of what Michael Voss says, he is panicking. 6 weeks ago, if you hadn't have tinkered with our team, maybe we wouldn't be panicking at the moment. Maybe we wouldn't be sitting 7th by a hair. What are you doing, Vossi? What are you doing? Why are you coaching this club? You've achieved nothing. Last year's out the window. It doesn't count. Doesn't matter. You made the preliminary final. Big deal. 5 goals up to Brisbane and lost by 5 goals. See, I think the players down there run this club, not Michael Voss. And I'll use the example of Luke Beveridge at the Bulldogs. At the start of the season, when they weren't winning games, he made a few errors, or you could call them errors, or were they learnings? He left all Australians such as Bailey Dale out of the side or made them sub. Caleb Daniel out of the side or made them sub. Jack McRae, all Australian, out of the side or made them sub. Jamara Ugle-Hagan wasn't getting a game at the start of the season. Now look what the Bulldogs are doing. Anyone and everyone was available to be dropped at the Bulldogs. That's who runs the team at the Western Bulldogs, the coach. I can't say the same at Carlton. I really can't. I think Patrick Cripps runs a club at Carlton. I think Sam Doherty runs a club at Carlton. I think Jacob Wiedering runs a club at Carlton. I think Sam Walsh runs a club at Carlton, which is a bad thing to do, letting the players run the club. And when I say run the club, I mean the coach has too much faith in the players. Therefore, we are where we are. You need to stand up, Michael Voss, and be a proper coach now. You have 3 weeks to fix this. 3. It's not a long time, and I don't think you can do it. In fact, I don't think we even make finals. 6 weeks ago, I said we could win the... Actually, 7 weeks ago. 7 weeks ago, I said we could win the premiership. The week after, I thought we couldn't. Now I'm sitting here saying I don't think we're going to play finals. That's almost like they've rigged it, Carlton. You couldn't do this if you tried. If you tried to do this, Carlton, you couldn't do it. And yet you're not trying to do it. So make sense of that. You thought I was going to end right there. Oh, no. I've left the best to a last. Charlie Curnow. It's become abundantly clear you are afraid of the big games. It's a fact. It might be my opinion, but it's a fact. You've proven yet and yet again that come big games, you go missing. It's all too hard. Take the final series of 2023. You might as well have not been playing. Unsighted. Last night, first time in 60 games, you did not kick a goal. Big game. Against the Bulldogs, 3 goals, 7. Big game. Yet against West Coast last year, you kicked 10 goals twice to win the Coleman medal. Did you really deserve it, Charlie? Not so sure now. The games are starting to mount, especially the big ones where you don't perform. I'm starting to scratch my head and wonder, are you as good as everyone thinks you are? It just seems that when things get too hard and you're getting beaten, you just give up. You just give up. And it so happens to be in big games. Unfortunately for all Carlton supporters, including me, you seem to be our only hope. Therefore, it gives us no hope. Remember, no plan B. I can't believe I made it to the end of this episode without swearing almost once. So I'm going to leave it there. There you have it. Another Carlton Club Corner in the books. Let me know in the comments your thoughts about the Blues. Love reading all your comments, even the bad ones, and I'll reply to all of you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.